Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going through the AFL fantasy team reveal for round 5, going through my trades, sort of my thoughts and everything, and why the trades are what they are, and who I'm planning to almost get in the next couple of weeks, because that's how these trades are sort of looking ahead. You've got to look a week or two ahead. So I'm looking at potential Dacos, Whitfield, Dunkley, etc., those type of trade-ins, as well as looking at potentially when is the best time to get like a Rankin as well in. He could be a guy that, I know he plays Geelong this week at 864k, break even of 93. He could be a guy that I look at in the next week or two, because he's going to be a guy that's probably going to bottom out soon. He's averaging 90 for the year and has had a couple of big games, so I'm looking at him. When he's not injured and subbed out, he goes like a 110. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at him soon. But anyway, let's just jump into the video. So as you can see, for those watching along on YouTube, you have the trade targets new graphic there, just showing the guys that I really consider highly in trading for rookies and primos. And Bice is the number one guy. You can see him on screen as well, trading him into D6. And when I just have a feeling that with this, as you see with my midfield, I have 4 playing rookies in the midfield with Ashcroft, Lindsay, Moraes and Gross, and I have a feeling that depending on team sheets, I'm going to try and get a rookie loophole if GWS play the second game on the Sunday. Yes, I was right in saying that, but the second last game, there's a chance that I keep Leak and move one of the midfielders out, like a Hasty or someone like that, rather than Leak, just because I want to be able to take a 7th score out of here, out of Reed or Trainer. Someone's probably going to go big. If we go to, so Richmond play there, and then Melbourne versus Essendon on the Saturday night. So you've got Saturday and Sunday. So you would see that I would probably do this, read emergency into Trainer, and then that would be so that Sinclair would go into the midfield here, instead of, like, I'll just show you this here as well. If I just go here and I go, can I do this straight to Hasty? Does this just work? Please say it does. Please say sorry. Where is Hasty in the... Did I probably... Watch me have clicked on... I swear I didn't click on... it. I'm not putting James Leake in the bloody ruck lane, you buffoon. That is so dumb. Anyway, let's see if I can just do this and then see if I can do... put the likes of Sinclair in there so that it works better. Dual position, you've attempted to swap... Yeah. I've put one in this utility. This is why AFL Fantasy is really losing its appeal and stuff like that, because he's in the utility, is Angus Hasty, the utility where any position can play, yet you can't trade him out because he's apparently somehow ruck locked. Is that even possible? That just seems like a massive error from them. Anyway, let's just see if I can do a way around this in a way. Let's just see. Can I do this and then this, maybe? Something like this. Confirm. No, that doesn't want to work. So, reverse this trade. I can't reverse that trade either. Okay. Edit this trade. If I want to go here and want to go, does this work? Does this work? Nope, that's exceeded the salary cap limit, so can't do that trade. Man, annoying. So how can I even get Leak back into the side if it's not going to allow me to... Sinclair, maybe? Does that work? Trade updated somehow. So then if that worked, then surely Sinclair, because he's got the DPP positional, then I can do that. How is that even ruck aligned? How is that even ruck aligned? It's not like he's got a... How is Hasty ruck aligned? It makes no sense. Anyway, putting Hasty in that position, there should be no way in the codes or anything that Hasty is anywhere near a ruck. That's dumb that it doesn't work through the utility, but you swap him into the and you swap him into the bloody midfield and it works. Like, that just shouldn't happen. But anyway, if I was to do this, and then you've got James Leake there, then you would have that, and then you would have this, and then you would have Bice there, and then you'd have that. And then, so you'd have Leake at D6, Reed and Trainer. And then you'd have Sinclair would move all these guys down and slot there and would work his way into, would he be? Yes, he would be at M1 for a week. And then Sarong back to the captaincy. And this just looks a lot better. Gross plays on the Saturday at 1:20, and you've got a Saturday 12:30 between North and Gold Coast. But then you've also got Carlton also play on the Saturday at 1:20. So you got all that mess there between the three of them. And then Hasty plays on the Sunday if he ends up playing. That'll be interesting if team sheets allow, because if Lucas Camporelli doesn't play, then I'm pretty sure there might be an avenue to get a slight, an avenue for a way in which I can get the guys to play with a loop there to get an access to a ninth midfield score, but I'm not 100% sure. But it feels like there should be, but it may not exactly line up. And then I actually just figured it out. Yes, because Moraes plays in the last game of the round, so I can pick between Gross and also Moraes. I think if Hasty isn't selected, then I can pick between Moraes and Gross through swapping Camporelli and Hasty. Let's just hope that this swap works, because hopefully AFL trade updated. So yes. So let me run you through that little change there. So if Hasty doesn't play and Leak doesn't play as well, that would be kind of counterintuitive to cash generation, but good for banking up a little bit of cash as well. But yeah, if Hasty, also if West Coast, does West Coast work in the loop here? No, they don't. But West Coast could work in a potential loop there. Am I really valuing loops over cash generation is a big thing there. So yeah, I don't think that'll be the one that I go down. I was just thinking about potentially trading in Elijah Stewart back in. But yeah, I'll probably go with Hasty out anyway and just pick Gross over Moraes because he's got a midfield role. But I could potentially just go and try and get the better score out of him. But I think for cash generation purposes, I'd probably want, I'm hoping that Camporelli plays, or if Hasty plays, then that would be brilliant, because then I can trade out other players there and really get the cash gen flowing, or just to get the cash generation banked. I get a little bit more. I'd probably trade out Stone over Hewitt. But anyway, yeah, it's all about just trying to, get, I think a loop option in the backline would be better because it exposes me to less of the midfield rookies. And I think that one of these two scores well, at least like a 60 or 70, whereas I don't know if Moraes will, per se. So there's that. There's also the opportunity, I'm pretty sure. No, there's not, because I have 8 forwards and not a 9th. There would be an opportunity for Sanders to go into the midfield, etc. But anyway, there isn't. So there's that. So if I was to run this team, which is kind of like, I feel like is probably the most likely, then you'd still have Gross and Bice in. Then next week I'd have 143k spare, which, let's just go back to Hasty, because I think this is the most likely set of trades that I do, because I want to keep Camporelli, because I think there will be big calls coming at the Carlton side this weekend. But we'll see if Camporelli gets named back in, because he didn't have the best VFL performance. But having said all that, you've got this side here for me, in which you've got 2 top-end primo mid defenders. Sinclair is theoretically in there, so you could probably call it 3. And then you've got Sarong's going to be top. I don't think the likes of Rosie is, but he's still averaging 106 for the year. He's still gone 284s. I just don't think his Supercoach scoring is as good as his fantasy. And then you've got, so yeah, he's still there for me. And then you've got Clayton Oliver and Finn Callahan. Clayton Oliver could sneak in 102.5. So yeah, he's still gaining cash. 68 break even this week should be fine. So you got potential for me having 3 defender premiums that I like, and potential for Roberts to sneak back in. Then you've got Rosie's doing fine. He's like 10th, 15th highest ranked player for AFL fantasy in terms of scoring. Sarong is also up there as well. Sarong's actually doing worse than Rosie, but I like Sarong better than Rosie, which is quite funny. And then you've got Oliver and Callahan there as well. Callahan probably needs to go soon. But anyway, yeah. So you've got all those guys there. So it's probably 3, 3, 2, and 4 that I have so far, which puts me needing another, what's that, 6, 8, another like 10 upgrades for this team, which, yeah, that's a while away. So hoping that someone proves me wrong in terms of the likes of one of these rookies can hold around a lot more, and or Roberts and Sanders can get on their bike and start scoring. But anyway, I think that's a good part to end the video, or this team reveal for round 5. It's shown a little bit of sort of how I'm going and tracking. I'm tracking all right, but I'm not tracking the best. I need to just gain some cash generation this week to be able to upgrade next week. Next week, upgrading, it's probably going to be Callahan and Sanders up to a Dunkley or someone like that. Or maybe even up to, I don't think I can go to Whitfield this next week, but he'd be someone that I'm looking at soon. But yeah, definitely strengthening that midfield up. If I can get Clayton Oliver back to a regulation M4, that would be, or an M5 in this format, would be probably the best. But yeah, we'll see. Jaden Short as well could easily go up to Whitfield next week or something like that. So it'll probably be one of the 800Kers in Callahan or Short next week up alongside Sanders, or potentially someone else. We'll just have to see how the cash generation goes with, say, a Jaden Short who's got a 76 break even, Finn O'Sullivan 26. If Finn O'Sullivan puts another 50 up and gets to 400K and Short can go relatively big, maybe just something else as well, because that would be 400K plus 880 or so. 880K plus 400 is 1280, plus the 91 that I have is 1.37 million, and 1.37 million gets me close on the defenders. To be honest with you, that would get me close to the likes of Wangani, Malira, or someone else like that. But if you look at the 3-round average for them, or even just 5-round average to get the full season, you've got yeah, it could be one of the GWS defenders that I go for next week there, as yeah, they look pretty good. Those guys could be someone like Holmes, but it could be a really down year for defenders, just looking at this here, to be honest with you, as the main big ones from last year have really dropped. So yeah, we'll just wait and watch about that. But yeah, Dale could be an interesting one in a week's time if he does pop off, because he's got a 113 break even. So he'd be in and around that marker with Dale if he does do another really good game. But anyway, that is the video there, a sort of long-winded video just to say that I'm doing not a double downgrade, but a double rookie swap this week, just to find some cash generation, because they're sort of needs to be some for me with my sort of dead team with fantasy, not having the same problems with Supercoach with the guys that I've got, the rookies, so there'll be definitely upgrades there. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you are listening on Spotify, give me a follow and a rating over there, and I'll see you guys back for the Supercoach video later. Bye guys.